My name is Honorable Eletu Sulaimon, the council leader of Eti-Osa East, LCDA, the 5th Legislative Council to be precise, of Honorable Yaya Adeniyi, the Sumu Legislative Chamber, Shangotedo. And at the same time, I'm the councillor representing Ward E. And when we're talking about Ward E, I need to break it down, When we're talking about Eti-Osa East LCDA, Eti-Osa East LCDA have 5 wards. And we have Ward A, B, C, D, E. And the E happens to be where I represent, by virtue of being a councillor. We have 5 zones under Ward E. We have the coastal area, which is Okumoko and Okwaja, and we have Ogombo. Then we have the resettlement as well. And like you said, my career, I think at this time I need to make it as a point of reference that this is my 2nd time as a councillor. And the first time I happened to be the deputy leader of the house. And this 2nd time I'm the leader of the house now. I think what I need to add is my educational background. I'm an HND holder. I graduated since 2012, to be precise. No, my graduation was 2007. Did my service year 2009. Complete my service year 2009. I think that would be because of my activities before and my stewardship after I became a councillor. Now that's why let me start from right back while I was in school. I was doing it for the passion of it. I was part of the student union government. In my handy days, actually, where I did College of Animal Health and Production Tech in University. More plantation, we call it more plantation. That's why I did my handy. Apata, to be precise, about the area. College of Animal Health and Production Tech, more plantation. I did my handy there. I was part of the student union government. I was the sport director. Then I proceeded to Lagos State Polytechnic, where I did my HND under animal husbandry, animal production and fishery. Then I was part of the student union government too, as the sport director. But back then I was actually doing it as something that I was just passionate about. When you love football, you just want to be part and parcel of it. When you pass through school, you want the school to pass through you. I did all that when I was in school, not knowing that it's still going to pay off. It gave me first time insight about service, about stewardship to people. You're representing the people, you understand. Then I think after my graduation, I served in Enugu, that's the University of Nigeria, Nzuka. And during my service, I was then I was not giving it too much of a thought, but I felt I moved completely out of Lagos, and down to the east. So I felt I want to let them feel my impact, that I'm from different tribe. And I want them to feel Lagos boys. Lagos boys, always Lagos boys. You want to walk. You understand? On Monday, so mostly I go out in the morning. My place of primary assignment, which is a management information system unit, which has to do with collating the school students' data. Then it was still in a hard copy. So what we do the scanning and we put it in the data, database of the school. So I did that for a year. I make sure 8 o'clock I'm at my place of assignment, and I close with the staff at around 4:30, 5 o'clock. I never knew people were actually looking at me. It was when we were doing our personal pride that I was called that I have been nominated for one of the best having copper. And I was like, for real? When I got there, they gave me this certificate of merit award with a cash token of 5,000. Brother, 5,000 back then was a lot of money, because what you even get for a month was 9,000 naira. You understand? It was a lot of money. So after that, that was when I fell in love with being service to people. Fell in love with being a steward. Then when I got home, the first thing that came to my mind was that my father was at the helms of the CDA of the community. I did not mention that I'm an indigenous of Alagunto Community A in Eti-Osa East LCDA. So being an indigenous, when I got back, because I had that passion to serve now, and I told my dad, I said, look, we're still young. You guys are getting old. Why don't you just let us be of service to the community? so that people will get to know us, and from there we get to move forward and all that. So when they were like, okay, if that is what you want, then I as you all know, CDC, CDA is Community Development Association. So for my community now, for instance, is Alagunto Community Development Association. Now CDC at the local level is called Community Development Committee. So an aggregate of all the CDAs under a local council forms the CDC. You understand? Yeah. So in my community, I eventually contested. It has to do with election. Yeah. I contested as a CDA chairman, which I won. Wow. So on getting to Eti-Osa East LCDA, I was nominated as the Assistant General Secretary of CDC. Wow. And the CDA stuff, it has to be 3 principal officers that attend the CDC at the local level. Okay. When you look at it at the strata of government, they said the federal, the state, the local, then the CDC, which is the 4th tier of government. So I was operating under that. I was doing that too as an assistant general secretary. But unfortunately, the general secretary happens to have other ambitions. He wanted to actually contest for education secretary for Eti-Osa back then. So I ended up handling the secretariat of assistant general secretary and the general secretary for Eti-Osa ICLCDA. Wow. That was where people now got to know me more. I did this so judiciously that people were like, God, we never knew. I didn't mean you were not there. That means your secretariat at fumble. Secretariat is the backbone of any association. Yeah. You understand? So, and then after, and the tenure is 2 years. Okay. After 2 years, then you're eligible to contest for another position. But you can't hold a position more than twice. Mm-hmm. So because I held the position of assistant general secretary, I was upgraded to general secretary. Wow. That general secretary, I did that for at least another 2 tenures, making 4 years. Wow. You understand? Wow. So then another guy happens to got nominated. We conducted the election, and he got in as the assistant general secretary under my tutelage in the secretariat. Okay. I tutored the guy, Then the 3rd tenure, which is another 2 years, I now still hold the general secretary for the second time. So for the last tenure, which was another 2 years, making 8 years in a row for at the CDC level. Wow. And my service was under a committee. Being the secretary of that CDC, you're supposed to hold the chairman of the conflict resolution committee. Wow. This is where I gained so much fame and popularity. Wow. You ask me why. It's simply because when there are issues in communities, under Eti-Osa East LCDA, me being the conflict resolution committee chairman and my members, we move into that community. We try as much as possible to resolve whatever is going on within that community. If it is in court, we try to talk to both parties to bring the matter back home. And if it is something we are going to see that is still status quo, we maintain status quo. But we've achieved more success by trying to talk to them that we are the same now. We don't need all this. Yes. You don't need to say you want to go to court. You can actually resolve things like this in there. So from there, people got to know, Eletu, second. All these things I'm telling you, all this thing I'm telling you, I have papers that I actually chose for reflect that I serve under this capacity. Wow. And at the same time, there are certificates of merit, you understand, which in turn helped me when I wanted to contest for councillorship. Wow. During my time in this CDC of 18, I made sure I let people know me a lot. I made sure, you are an indigenous of Eti-Osa, one way or the other, you are all related. Yes. The moment I mention my name, people start, are you not the son of so person? Yeah. Alaji Ayuba Eletu in Alagunto. I said, yes. You look so much like him. In fact, he was a good secretary back then too, And now, this time, I have involved myself actively in politics. Wow. I was part of the World Expo in my own area here, since when the party was AC. Wow. Before it became ACN, before it now became APC. It was when it was APC that was when I flagged off as a major contender for the councillorship of Ward E, representing the good people of Ward E in Eti-Osa ICLCDA. Okay. The answer is going to be in 3 folds, in 3 phases. I'm going to talk about my immediate environment, immediate community. Because like I said, maybe at this point I need to let you know that we are resettlement communities. We are not actually an indigenous community here, but we are, our own community happens to be in health. I don't know, you passed through health.
Yes.
That was where we had before. It was when they demolished Morocco. That was when the likes of Alagunton, Ogoyo, Moba, all the likes of the resettlement communities were now brought in here.
Wow.
You understand? Which is why I said my answer is going to be in three folds. Now, let me quickly point out this. I'm part of, while I was at the CDC level, I made sure with all the resettlement that are here, we had a place that about 2 hectares of land that they map out for water yard. Wow. And we were looking at, okay, we are new communities that are just resettled here. So what do? Our children are facing the harm of crossing the road every now and then. So we are victim of accidents. Our kids are dying. So we now make a truce. Make a truce with fellow CDA members. I said, why don't we just tell the government that we actually wanted to make use of that water yard? Everybody can equally dig 2 rings of culvert and you get water. So why don't we talk to them that we want to actually change that place to a school? You understand? After all said and done, we form a committee. We call it Joint Resettlement Committee. That means all other communities under this resettlement came together. I happened to be the secretary. Alhaji Surajuddin Abedam was the chairman. So we went to each community. We told them about our dream, that we wanted to have a school in this community. If it's going to be a primary school, or it's going to be a primary center and a secondary school. We did that. And each ballet and each representative of the community actually signed in that regard. Wow. So we now took that letter down to the local government. I don't even have it in mind. Then I was going to be a councillor. Wow. I was only doing it for the love of my people. Yeah. Like I said, my activities and my stewardship. Yeah. At the end of the day, we were granted that wish. Wow. But unfortunately, they couldn't build that school. But we were able to achieve a Millennium Development Goal project of a primary health center in that place. Wow. Now, my dream, like you said, was actually to have a school. Wow. And that dream was actualized when I was contesting for my first tenure with my former blessed memory, Honorable Afio Olufumi, who died. He was the former chairman of Eti-Osa SLCDA. He made a promise back then that he's going to make sure we build that school. And we were able to do it with the help of blessed memory to Honorable Kazim Alimi of Lagos State House of Assembly. We were able to make sure we build that school during the first tenure. You understand? And my dream, like I said, it's going to be threefold, is that I wish that this resettlement community is going to have a senior secondary school. You know why I'm saying that? We already have a primary school named after Honorable Kazim Halimi of blessed memory. Then we have a junior secondary school that was actually made possible by Tabernacle of David at Elajede. We supplied the land, and with a PPP program, we were able to build a junior secondary school for us. But now we need a senior secondary school. That is one of the dreams I'm looking at. Right now, if I have that power, I'm going to make sure we do it. That is for my immediate community. Now, for my ward as Ward E, the way I look at it, I think we still have a long way to go. Ward E happens to be the largest ward in Eti-Osa SLCDA. And I will tell you, I told you we have 5 wards. And 5 wards is Ward A, start from Aja, Thomas, down to Fujisi. That's Ward A. Okay. Ward B, Shangotedo, which is Abamade Sanya, and Shangotedo to Majek. That's Ward B. Ward C is Okera, Akins, down to Ado. Okay. Ado. Okay. Then Ward D is Badore, Ijoyi, and the lights.
You've left Ogombo out.
I'm getting to there. That's Ward D. Now Ward E is my home ward, which happens to be the largest ward. We have Ogombo. And under Ogombo, as a community, we have more than 10 communities, 10 CDAs under Ogombo. Wow. Okunaja of the coastal area, they are there, which share boundary with Laviaji. Then we have Okumokbo, still under my ward, which share boundary with Shombotedo and Ogombo as well.
Yeah.
You understand? Yeah. Then this resettlement that we're talking about, that shares boundary with Abaladisanya. Now, my dream is this. My second dream is this. I'm looking forward to when they are going to do the delineation which they are supposed to be doing every 10 years by making sure this ward is being split either into 3 or into 2. Okay. It will make it more governable. They will have each representative, like a councillor like myself, you understand? And it will be easier for the chairman to actually know where to touch in terms of infrastructural development. Are you getting me, sir?
Yeah, I get
that. Is one of the basic things. And for the past 3 decades now, they've been coming to do that word delineation of a thing. The last time they came, I was part of the team that led this committee. They couldn't finish word E in a day. You can imagine.
Yeah.
They couldn't finish because when we were at Ogombo, we were going down to Shombotedo saying we have not finished. When we went to Okumaja, going through the coastal, when we get to Boundary of Lafiaki, we said we have not finished. They said no, it's enough. You can imagine. And that is why development is at a very slow pace here. That is my second point. And lastly, my third point about my dream is about the autonomy for all local government. If we remember back then, when we were in school, I should say during my primary school days, when the local government asked for autonomy, you notice that development was very rapid back then. You don't need to say, yes, this is a certain amount that you need to, a constraint for a local government to do a road. When you were coming, you were seeing some road that actually, I was the one that made sure I facilitated that. There's a market that you pass through. I was the one that facilitated all that too. Wow. But if we have financial autonomy, it will be a very good thing. Amongst other things, sir, I want a peaceful environment for my people. I want an Eti-Osa that the non-indigenous and the indigenous will work together, and they will make the socio-economic status of this place boom. Already Eti-Osa is the hub for realtors now. Real estate. The new Lagos now. That is not a say again.
Yes.
That is just the truth, whether I like it or not. But we need to face it. There are some other things that we actually need, like what I said earlier, apart from all that. But yes, I want a very conducive environment that is safe in terms of life and property, and people should be careful about what they see on net. You have to verify the truth before you start, forwarding message, and before you start saying this is what is actually happening. I think I'll stop from there. I'll stop there. Well, the point is, whether I like it or not, like I said, I'm a second timer. When I was a deputy leader, I tried my best, in making sure whoever come to me and in need of probably, for instance, now they're saying you need 10,000 naira. I will tell you, boss, I'm handling the largest ward. You are not the only person that will come for this thing. And salary itself, it get gauge. Yes. Family day, this day, that day. So what we go do? We say we go share. For now, make you take maybe like 4,000. Yeah. When you take 4,000 now, the other people will won't come too. We go feed them like 3,000. Yeah. So they share. So and once you don't collect this month, make say for like next 3 months, go literally again. But at the same time, there are some programs that actually come out from the local government too. Like empowerment skills and all that. That myself being the leader of the house, when all other members are getting 1 slot, you might be able to get 2 slots. It's always a good thing too. It helps the leader of the house too. The leader of the house, despite the fact that you are representing the ward too, simply means you are still the leader of Eti-Osa ICLCD. Yes. That's number 3 kind of person of any local government. Yes. That's what it is. So when I have that, I make sure I throw one in probably zone A and zone D. You understand? Because at the end of the day, they might end up being given a motivational, incentive sort of to actually make them continue in that business. So, and whenever, like you said, there was a time that, people can be funny at times. Yeah. When you give, and you just be hearing outside that you did not give. It happens. Yes. It happens a lot. True. But because you are a politician, you need to know that in continuing your bank, lower by no more. And to buy the jíjẹ dúdú. Forgive me for using that word.
No.
But at the end of the day, we try as much as possible to make sure everybody is satisfied. We try as much as possible to let them still believe in us, that we're still going to deliver. We try as much as possible to make sure the development of democracy is delivered at the grassroots. But to be honest with you, if you are a true politician and a true leadership, a true leader, you need to, every person's opinions matters.
Of course.
You have to take that very, very important.
Of course.
It's very, very important. You need to hear that person out. Then if that person needs some, probably explanation on how to go about it. Mm-hmm. Okay, let me use something as a case study. Right now, I'm the council leader.
Yeah.
And I'm saddled with the responsibility of making bylaws, the legislator, and what have you.
Yeah.
And when we do all these things, we need to go through first reading, second reading, third reading, then public hearing before we do all these things. You know? And even at that public hearing, we have people with different opinions. What you need to let them understand is that we are here to actually serve them. If we come up with a bill for improvement of revenue generation of a local government, it's not because of our own pocket. It's because we want to channel whatever we get in terms of revenue back to that local government in terms of development in terms of the health sector, in terms of the environmental sector, in terms of the educational sector. You understand, sir?
Yes.
There are ways you need to put all these things down to people. Now, there's an incident that actually occurred this morning, and I was not too happy about it. It's from my community here. Just like you said, people have different opinions. And Lagos being a cosmopolitan state, where we have the Igbo, the Hausa, and everybody, people don't actually understand. They felt what is happening in their state is what is happening in Lagos State. Now, people woke me up with calls this morning because two people are actually doing birthdays. And in Lagos, there's a law against noise pollution. Even I'm a Muslim, we have a mosque in our compound. When we pray, we make sure we reduce the volume. You understand? Can you imagine that these people play up till 6:45 a.m. in the morning? So I had to go and meet them. I tried to let them understand, look, there is a law against noise pollution in Lagos State. If you want to do this, fine, reduce the volume. If you know you can't reduce the volume, then you should close early. Fine, if nobody is complaining, it's another different thing. But if somebody complains, then that means I have to take it up. And the first line of contact when this gets to the local government is me, because it's my domain. As a leader, I'm supposed to take charge of that. And I should find a way around it where I can make sure I talk to them and let them see reasons why you are not supposed to do all this. Some people are actually telling me he's a traditional leader in his own state, in Akwa Ibom, that he can play and do whatever he likes. You understand? At the judgment of other people on a Sunday. So whether you like it or not, you can't escape the fact that people will always be who they are. But we will not relent in our effort by making sure we let them understand the do's and don'ts of the government. We let them understand that if you actually want to do this, it's an open door policy. You can come and ask for information. I will gladly give you that information. And if it is not even information, if it is service, which we are there for, like I said, stewardship, we will equally give them to them double. One is in school, make sure you involve yourself in politics. God damn young, that's how I started. And I've never regretted it one day in my life, because it happens to be what shaped me to what I am today. You understand? You just have to. It's important. You just have to. Then secondly, you need to engage yourself in something. And now do hand is the devil workshop, which is why I'm an advocate of somebody that like empowerment skill. Recently, I just facilitated a 2 weeks program on renewable energy solar construction system.
Wow.
You understand? I have pictures of all this. When we are through, I'll show you on my phones, and you will see that I'm not telling lies. These are things that if you go to my page, you see them there. engage yourself in something. Skill acquisition, that's why we have a skill acquisition right here in Alagunton. You understand? Yeah, where you can actually, we have that of catering, small scale, whatever. We have fashion designing, and I think we have a cosmetologist, we have photography, and we have hairdressing and what have you. And we are doing great. Average of quarterly average of 50 to 100 people have been graduated there. But the last one we just did was actually about solar and renewable energy in collaboration with Renewable Energy Technology Training Institute. The founder is Mrs. Gloria Obubueze. So we did it together. She just met me in the community here while I was driving by, and we just talk and we engage ourselves, and she was like, I would love to give back to the community. I said, this is a good one. It's a plus from my own end. And I think that is what people are seeing in me, because I have that passion to start. You understand? And I've been doing that, and thank God now we have 30 people that are entrepreneurs, that are people that can get source of income from being a solar engineer, and they can even work in a solar company right now. They actually construct a solar panel by themselves. I'll show you the video when you're through. You understand? That is true. The third one is they should please shun cultism. They should please shun cultism. I'm saying this because I've been there. I know what people have gone through. Like I said, in my last dispensation, I was the deputy leader of the house, and I sponsored a bill, child molestation, prohibition of child abuse and molestation and cultism, you understand, as a bill, I sponsored it. I have a copy of it, which I make sure I even do a kind of a seminar, with people, in my own community, the resettlement community, trying to let them understand that you don't need to be involved in don't let peer pressure push you into cultism, you understand. And aside from that, I've been involved in so many seminars, like the one at National Image Scholarship. I was one of the people that give them motivational speech when they're going to school, that please don't let cult members or people that are saying they are wearing all these fine things, and you felt they might be getting it, they might come from a rich home, but because of that freedom that they just had, they just done it badly. But you don't forget where you're coming from. Know that you are actually from a peace-loving home. Don't try and perpetrate evil. If you are a Muslim, make sure you go to mosque at the right time. If you are a Christian, make sure you go to church at the right time. And if your pattern of going around the school is going to be triangle, which is going to be from your house to the classroom, then to your place of worship, make it that triangle, and make sure you make the best of it, the best use of it. So those are the three parts I want people to actually look into in terms of advice. Yes. I think I will start. I'll start with my wife, standing beside me, and God, first and foremost, God, Almighty God, for actually doing what He has been doing in my life. God has been wonderfully doing wonderfully well to my family, and I can't, cease. Alhamdulillah. And after that, I think my wife. Then after my wife, then I'll talk about my late boss, that's the former boss, of blessed memory, Honorable Afro Olufumi, and then of blessed memory too, Honorable Kazim Halimi, Lagos House Assembly. Then right now my boss, the mayor of our time, Honorable John Ogundaye Campus, talk and do chairman. He has been the one that has been, when I talk to him, we usually have this argument. I said, don't worry, we'll do it, leader, mache. And that is what you are seeing that is happening there. So I will never forget him too. Then I will never forget my own colleagues too. I'm talking of the legislative arm, Honorable Aziz Ali Amin, the deputy leader of the House, Honorable Tawa Karitu Agbaje Salam, the only lady amongst us, who is the majority leader. Then we have Honorable Ishola Odunlami Dauda, who happens to be the chief whip, and then the honorable member, powerful man, Honorable Dedin Onurudin. Then from there I will go to the leaders, the guy, the babas, the chieftain. Let me start from Honorable Yaya Adeniyi Dosumu, whom we name our legislative chamber after. He's still very much alive. Baba is an octogenarian. Yes, I think it's an octogenarian now. Yes, octogenarian now. Or is anything to know octogenarian?
Yes.
Then the same with Alhaji Ari Ali and Alhaji Akpankpa, Honorable Olabi Isa, who was the chairman when I said we acquired that place, that we did that Millennium Development Goals for the primary health centers. Wow. Then we have Baba Olusi, the central leaders of at our own organization. Then we have all the the supervisor, Honorable Lukman Isa, Honorable Tonode, Honorable Wakil Oshodi, the former leader, Honorable Sulaimon Kabir, Jamiu Sulaimon. Those are former legislators that we are looking up to. The list is endless. I just don't want to miss out anybody's name. So I'm saying it in no particular order. You understand? Then I think the vice chairman 2 years, Honorable Ismail Ijamode Ekundayo, aka Ijamode. They have been wonderfully well to me since inception. We are getting to 2 years and we have achieved a lot. The chairman has done wonderfully well in the area of traffic, in the area of environment, and in the area of security. Those boys back then, they even came to our council. So my chairman was able to tackle them. Couldn't see him on that. And I think my PA too, Oluwaseun Clinton, is seated beside me here. He's the one that carry me around, and you have to pray for him too. But his well-being is my well-being too. So my well-being is his well-being. So I think having said that, all other Alhaji Fatai Adewumi, who happens to be my former ward chairman when I assumed office, the first time. Then the current ward chairman now, Alhaji Akibu Akinlolu, and all the entire ward ESCO of Ward E, the entire zonal ESCO of Ward E, then the entire Ward A, B, C, D, E. ESCOs of Eti-Osa East LCDA, Home of Hospitality, then the management staff too, under the HOA, which are Mrs. Adekpeju Ogidon, then the CT, Mrs. Asanga, and all the HODs and the head of units in Eti-Osa East LCDA, Home of Hospitality. I'm giving this shout out is for all of you. So please forgive me if I omit anybody's name. Just please and please, just take it the way it is.
Thank you very much for the time. It's a swell of experience, meeting someone who has transcended from the internal CDA, CDC environment, somebody who brought home the learnings of student representation and leadership from the four corners of higher institution, and was able to metamorphosize into mainstream politics. It's a whole lot of those 3 levels are 3 different levels of engagement of leadership. When Moyosore Ogunlewe was saying that anybody who has done student unionism should drop whatever they have learned, they should come and learn new things. At a youth summit, I was the one. I didn't respond to him at the venue because I knew he was at the high table. So I went to Facebook to respond, and I told him, I said, if you really understand what they call leadership, you will know that university unionism is like you going to the primary school level. The one we do in the community, which is the local government chairman that you are now, is the, let's say, is the ND of leadership.
You actually analyze it.
You understand? Then when you now move from there, you are moving to House of Assembly or state level, then you are moving to the HND. Then from that level to going to either state, being a governor or a president, then you are doing your HND. And when you now come back home to CDC, that is your doctoral thesis, because at that place you are interacting with people you cannot feed. People that are not coming to beg for money from you to live. You are interacting with fellow landlords, so you can't bamboozle them with anything. They will tell you, if you buy plot of land 5, myself I buy 5, and I build down, you build your own. If you follow me talk anyhow. So those levels are just levels of learning. So you can't now say.
Lastly, please, let me just chip in this. I forgot somebody. Honorable Noim Adams. That's the deputy majority leader of Lagos State House of Assembly. He's a legislator you know, and we are legislator at the local level. Thank God I remember. I would never forgive myself. Honorable Noyi Madam, Deputy Majority Leader, my big, very big and very enormous shout out to you, sir. Boss, you are highly recognized.
Thank you very much.